It's Juan Gotti here. Have you ever wanted to ask me a question? Share your opinion on a specific topic, but you never had the place to? Well, now you do, as I will be starting up a new series that will be airing weekly where you can ask me all of the type of questions that you want in regards to the Commanders, the NFL, or just the whole entire sports world. You can email me now at askjuangotti@gmail.com all of your questions. And once we get enough feedback, the first episode will be airing. Again, you'll have the opportunity to ask me any kind of questions that you want. Hey Juan, what do you think about this player? Hey Juan, what do you think about this coach? Or my Commanders fans out there, hey Juan, what do you think about the sale? This is my opinion on it. What do you think? You now have the opportunity to do that. I would take full advantage of that if I was you out there. Hit my email up now at askjuangotti@gmail.com with your questions. Again, that's askjuangotti@gmail.com with your questions. Wait a minute, girl, can you slow down? Wait a minute, girl, what's the rush now? I wanna introduce myself to you. My name is one-on-one guy, the preferred nouns. I like the way you put your fists together. I like the way you do your hair in the morning. I see why all the boys want you, girl. YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here talking about why I personally feel like this is the most important draft for Ron Rivera and his staff. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Also, tomorrow I will be bringing back the podcast, the Top of the Morning Show will be making its official return after a hiatus. If you guys want to know why I stopped doing the show for a while, come join me tomorrow morning at 7:30 p.m. live on the channel. We'll talk all about that, the Commanders owner sale. We'll talk about the Javonte Davis fight coming up this weekend, and obviously the Commanders draft. So please join me as the return of Top of the Morning Show is back tomorrow morning at 7:30. Now with that out the way, let's get straight into today's video. So I personally feel like this year's draft is the most important for Ron Rivera and his staff. In 2020, obviously you look back on it and selecting Chase Young, you probably don't do that. Hindsight 2020, knowing we still don't have a quarterback, knowing Justin Herbert is what he is, you obviously select Justin Herbert. Now, who knows? Justin Herbert may have got to Washington and we probably would have ruined his career. Who knows? But again, based off of how things have produced, you are selecting Justin Herbert. You know, but you still in that 2020 draft. You still got some studs like Antonio Gibson. You got you know, a solid guy like Antonio Gibson and Khalil Hudson. You got other guys like James Smith-Williams, and obviously 7th round stud and Cameron Curl. In 2021, you got Benjamin St-Juste. You know, De'Ami Brown. I want to say Samuel Cosme. The thing is, with that draft class, is you selected Jamin Davis at 19. And again, looking back on it, do you select Jamin Davis at 19? Because remember, Jamin was pretty much projected to be like a 2nd, 3rd round pick in the draft, but until he killed it at the combine. So, do you draft Jamin Davis at 19? Probably not. But the back end of the drafts is what's kind of saved these 1st round picks in a sense, because again, like I said, they've got a lot of talent on the back end of these drafts, man. Then in 2022, it seems like you finally hit on a 1st round pick in Jahan Dotson. You got Brian Robinson. I'm still not the biggest fan of the Phidarian Mathis pick. That just didn't make any sense to me. Too early for it. You obviously got Sam Howell, who hopefully will be your future quarterback. And it's not even that you just got Sam Howell, but it's the value you got him at, right? He was projected to be like a 2nd round pick. You got him in the 5th round still, you know. So a lot of these back end rounds, later rounds, gives me confidence that they know what they're doing in that aspect of things. But we gotta hit on these 1st round picks, man. Again, Jahan Dotson feels like he's a hit, but the first two, Jamie Davis and Chase Young, jury's still out on both of them. So this is the most important draft for Ron Rivera. And the reason why I say that is for all the circumstances. This could obviously be his last year due to the regime change and the ownership change, okay? So he needs to put together the best draft possible because this is step 1 to impress the new ownership. Step 1 to impressing the new ownership is going to be going out there and putting together a really good draft. What worries me is that we'll whiff on the 1st round pick. I'm not worried about the later rounds. Okay, 3 through 7, I know we can handle that. All right. Now we have to go in there with a game plan, which I'm pretty sure we do have. But this 1st round pick, probably the first two picks are the ones that's a little scary to me, because we haven't really hit. You know, we've kind of just taken guys that were supposed to be something. Well, in the case of Chase Young, he was supposed to be a generation talent, and he still can be. I'm not closing the door on that opportunity for Chase Young. And Jamie Davis, he's a project. So we have to hit. Okay, whoever we take, whether it is a cornerback, whether it is a lineman, we have to hit on this 1st round pick. All right, and then the 2nd round too. No more for Darian Mathis picks, please. No more. But 3 through 7, I feel pretty confident that we know what we're doing. All right, that's one thing about Ron Rivera and his staff is that we have drafted pretty well late. You know what I'm saying? Pretty well late. That's step 1 of impressing this new ownership, though. Obviously, after the draft, the next step is then winning. Preparing your team to win in the fall is the next step, and that's the biggest goal if you want to impress this staff, this new regime, I should say. Now, again, the biggest thing that I have with this staff is kind of like when Ron Rivera was first putting together his staff, it kind of was like, dang, you brought in Martin Mayhew, who was the GM for the 0-16 Lions, so that kind of did give me the boost that I was hoping for, and to a certain extent, you kind of see that. You kind of see that to this day, that Martin Mayhew is not the best guy to be in charge, but he's also not the worst. You know, Marty Herney has an eye for talent. Okay, I will say that about Marty Herney. So I hope I can put my trust in him to pretty much lead this department and lead this draft into the right direction. But step 1 is to having a good draft for Ron Rivera if he wants to save his job. And I don't know about you guys, but this is my personal take on it. Leave yours down below. I know Ron isn't the best. You guys know I'm highly critical of Ron Rivera. But I would much rather work it out with Ron, have it be worked out with Ron, he finally figures it out in year 4, than opposed to he's stinking it up and we have to start this thing over again. Now, it wouldn't be a total rebuild because obviously we're talented on this team. Okay, we're talented enough to be a playoff team, clearly. So we wouldn't be really rebuilding. We would more so be reloading. But I would much rather it work out with Ron Rivera so you don't even have to do all that than just starting over. I mean, you look at Sam Howell, right? Let's say Sam Howell has a good year this year, but it still didn't amount to any wins. Then Sam Howell has to learn his 3rd playbook in 3 years. Terry McLaurin, everybody's gonna have to shift their whole new thinking, right? Because that's the whole team that we're talking about here. If Ron Rivera's gone, more likely than not, Jack Del Rio's gone. Obviously, we are already preparing ourselves for Eric Bieniemy to be gone after this year anyway. But he's gone. The whole staff is gone. So now everybody is gonna have to learn a new playbook. And I know y'all probably like, Juan, these are professionals. This is what they get paid to do. They have to learn these new playbooks. But you guys probably don't understand how important comfortability is. Okay? If I have a year 4 group
that's been with me for 4 years. Majority of all these players been with me for 4 years. 4 years in the same defensive playbook. Okay? It's comfortability. And they should go out there playing like they know what the back of their hand. Right? That's from the Jack Del Rio standpoint. Obviously, I'm not going to speak on the offense because the offense has changed. So it's different for the offense. But the defense is like, you've been with me for 4 years. You should already know how I am. You know what I'm saying? How this is supposed to be, how it's supposed to look. I don't want to start that over. And if you fire Ron Rivera, then that is going to be started over. Now, again, I don't think Ron Rivera is the best coach. I don't at all. I definitely think we could do better. But I just personally wouldn't want to start over with anybody else. I would rather fix it with him and work it with Ron. Because, again, starting over, even though we're not bad, like talent-wise, so we wouldn't be necessarily rebuilding, we would just be reloading, you would have to still start that over. And maybe that's what's better for the team. Who knows? Possibly that's probably what's better. Because then the new regime, Josh Hurst, whoever is going to be the owner is, they could pick their new guy. And they could pick their guy. But I feel like for an owner's sake and for a team's sake, it would be best that Ron Rivera finally puts it together in year 4. Sam Howell was the guy. They have a good draft, and Washington is set for the next decade plus with their head coach and their ownership group and whatnot and their GM. So that's just my take on it. What says you out there? I personally feel like this is the most important draft in Ron Rivera's tenure here in Washington. What about you? Leave your comments and thoughts down below. As always, Midway One Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget, tomorrow morning I will be going live, bringing back Top of the Morning show at 7:30 a.m. We're going live, and then that same night I'm going live with a couple special guests. So please be tuned in for the channel, videos, and live streams. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace. Cost me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped.